Hey there, math nerds. Let's do some integration. So let's find the definite integral using our definition of this guy, or rather, of this of this function here from 0 to 3. Okie dokie. So we got a couple things before we start. Delta x is b minus a over n. So delta x will be 3 minus 0 over n, so 3 over n. Now, xi star, we are going to let that just be xi. So we're going to let that just be right endpoints. So we'll be taking the interval from, from 0 to 3, and we'll be breaking it up into n subintervals. So this will be x1, this will be x2, x3, and so on. So for this first subinterval, we can choose any sample point, since our integrand is continuous. But we're going to keep it simple and just use not just a random sample point here. We'll choose this endpoint to serve as our sample point for this subinterval. And likewise for our second subinterval, we'll choose the right endpoint again. So we're going to do right endpoints here. That's what I'm saying with this equation here. And how can I find a formula for xi? That'll be useful. Well, if this distance here is delta x, then x1 here should be 3 over n. This guy should be 3 times 2 over n. This guy should be 3 times 3 over n, and so forth. And so the formula we get is xi is going to be 3 times I over n. So we get 3i over n. All right, moving on. So I'm going to go about this in a few steps. Number one, I'm going to find and simplify f of xi times delta x. Number two, I'm going to throw the sum in there. And number three, I will finally do the limit. Now I'm using a short form for my sigma. When I write sigma with nothing above or below, I will mean this. So just be aware of that short form. It's a pain to write the subscript and the n on top here. So, number one, f of xi, come on. Number one, let's find and simplify f of xi and delta x. So delta x is 3 over n, and xi is 3i over n. So I'm going to be using these two numbers here. So I get f of 3i over n times 3 over n. Now my function is, let's recall here, f of x is x cubed minus 6x. Keep that in mind. So here we get 3i over n cubed minus 6 3i over n, all divided by, or all multiplied by 3 over n. Okay, so this is getting a little crazy already. I think you see why I'm breaking this up into 3 steps, because it would be quite a mess if I did it all at the same time. As I go, I should simplify. So let's take this and simplify. Now I'm going to have a goal here. I'm sensing I'm going to be using these formulas that we've seen before. So I'm going to be using these formulas. So I want to keep that in mind as I simplify this guy. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go in that bracket there and see what I can do. Well, I can get 27i cubed over n cubed minus 18i over n, step by step, slowly. Now, I want to use these formulas over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of peel away from the I cubed, and from the I, I'm going to try to peel away as much as I can without doing too much. I don't want to factor an I out. If I factored an I out of here, then I think that would really mess up my formulas later. It's not going to help me use my formulas later. So I'm going to leave the I. I'll leave the I's in there, and I'll do factoring of what else I can factor. So if I look at these two terms, what I'm seeing that can come out is a 9, and over n can come out. And there's a 3 over n outside already. So I get 3i cubed. Again, leaving the i's in there because I think that will be useful later. And then on top I have 2i over, well, this is just 1 now.